From the historic capital of open-wheel racing, Indianapolis, Indiana, it's USAC Unleashed. And now, stumping the loud pedal, ripping the lip, and letting her eat, here are your hosts, Dirty Dan and the Photo Man.
Hey, out there in USAC Unleashed Radio Land, here we are, episode number 3 of this awesome show. I may be a little biased in that, but guess who's back from Ocala? Photo Man, Rich Foreman. What's up, buddy?
I am back, and I am freezing my butt off.
Karma.
First day in like a week, I haven't had shorts and a t-shirt on.
Yeah, see? Karma. I'm just going to leave it at that and say, yup.
Let's just move on.
All right. Also joining us tonight, as always, is our kick-ass producer, Mr. Bob Steele behind the board. How you doing tonight, Bob?
Bangkok. Oh, hi, guys. What's happening? I'm just messing around a little bit with a right-handed defibrillator valve on the new transmitter.
You really have me worried when you start making Star Wars sounds talking about Bangkok. All right, you Princess Leia freak. We got an awesome show going on tonight in episode 3. I'm telling you, we have been blessed with the guests that we've been able to pull for this show in the first 2 weeks, and tonight's no exception. I'm really looking forward to it tonight. We have some awesome people scheduled. We're going to hit the mini sprint, micro sprint world. We're going to hit a couple guests from the USAC races down in Ocala this past weekend. Photo Man, how was it? How was it down there in Ocala other than the weather, man? I'm tired of hearing about that.
I mean, other than the weather, the racing was great. Man, we have a really great group of sprint cars this year. Lots of good rookies. Carson Short is a good rookie that comes to mind. He was pretty impressive, and man, what a way to start off. We leave Ocala almost the way we left last year's season. You know, we got Clausen leading Darlin by just a few points.
It was some good racing down there, that's for sure. I was watching on USACRacing.tv, and for anybody out there, you guys need to go check this pay-per-view out, and USACRacing.tv, man, it's pretty cool. Good stuff to go. But yeah, we're going to talk a little more about that. We got Shane Cottle and Brady Bacon scheduled tonight, so hopefully we don't have to redo this open, Photo Man.
Yeah, let's hope not.
All right. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to Danny Stratton, Shane Cottle's father-in-law. He's in the hospital. He's been battling some personal health issues for a while now. But big shout out to Jeremy Jameson, our first week Dirt Dog prize vault gear winner. So we'll be getting that information. So you can collect your $25 dirtdoggear.com gift certificate. And Photo Man, we're going to be asking you for the combo this week here for week number 2 later in the show. So you ready for that?
I'm going to have to dig that out of my bag. I think I had it packed up.
All right. And big shout out to Kathy Bell. And that's more of you guys that's won the Christopher Bell swag in week 1 of the show. Kathy's on her way home back to Oklahoma, so she'll be getting that stuff in the mail to you here real soon. RichForemanPhotos.com has now got a photo album on the USAC Unleashed radio page where you can go check out all his photos from Ocala and links to his website to order some stuff. That'd be you, isn't it, Photo Man?
That's me. And you know what? I think because that's me, I'm going to give some stuff away this week.
Uh-oh. When are we going to do that in the close, or where do you want to do that at?
I think we'll do that in the close.
That'll work. Hell, Photo Man's going to come off some free stuff, man. That's pretty awesome. All right, and the big news of the night's going to have to wait till the close. But I just want to say this. I have been so excited about what Brian Walker at Walker Racing Promotions has done for us. And we got a website to launch here in a little while, don't we, Photo Man?
That's right. We got us a website.
It's going to be cool, man. All right, we're going to go commercial here, visit some sponsors, refill that adult beverage of yours, come back, kick the feet up, and we'll get this show rocking with Chris Andrews on USAC Unleashed Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network.
If you're a gearhead, you probably go online to those hot rod superstores, drooling over the chrome and speed goodies until you find just the right item for your muscle car, tuner car, truck. But what do you do when it comes to fixing the mom mobile? If you're like most do-it-yourselfers, you head to the strip mall parts store and talk to the "Do you want fries with that?" kid behind the counter. Hold on, Bunky. Did you stop to think where those chain stores are getting the parts that you're installing in the vehicle that's used to transport your family everywhere? They get the cheapest suppliers they can find to sell you the parts at bargain prices. Their limited lifetime warranties? What a joke. Remember the last time Mom's car broke down? You heard about that one for weeks. Don't take that chance again. Excelsior Racing has the quality parts you need for your family vehicle. Parts that you can install knowing you're getting the best for your family. Excelsior Racing. Quality parts, personalized service, affordable pricing, fast to you direct. Excelsior Racing, online at excelsiorracing.com or call 502-909-2034.
Hey racers, you know the amount of time and effort you put in at the shop getting your bullet ready to do battle is huge. Shouldn't the way you look when you climb out of that sick-looking ride in victory lane be just as important? Well, hell yeah, it should. Turn Noah's Shell Shock Custom Helmet Painting loose on a custom lid designed just for you. Join the Shell Shock list of racers like Ryan Briscoe, Joey Saldana, Christopher Bell, Matt Crafton, Bud Kading, Dominic Selzy, Kenny Rutz, Spud Allen, Joey Coulter, and many, many more. Go to www.shellshockpaint.com or give them a call at 704-929-8545 and join the Shell Shock list of champions today. Follow Shell Shock on Twitter at Shell Shock Co. and be sure to check out the full Shell Shock gallery on Facebook at Shell Shock. And remember, only the best wear the SS.
And now, back to the guy that gets his jollies from racing R-Factor because actually getting into a race car scares the living hell out of him. It's the Photo Man and Dirty Dan.
We're back on the USAC Unleashed radio show. Photo Man, you ready for this?
Our first guest this week is Chris Andrews. Chris from Oklahoma. Are you out there?
Yes, sir, Rich. I'm here. How are you?
Good, buddy. How's everything out there in Oklahoma?
Well, it's getting a little colder here, but hopefully it'll warm up before racing season gets kicked off.
Yeah, you guys got a few weeks before racing gets started out there. What you got coming up here in March?
Well, we're going to, a couple guys come back together for me to rent Andrew Felker's Midget at the Power Eye Opener in Oklahoma City and again at Port City. I'd like to thank Aaron Lemons from Port City Raceway and James Moran from Tulsa Sod and Mulch for getting me the opportunity, and also thank Danny and Andrew Felker and Dwayne Moore, their setup guy, for allowing me to get back in that car for this year. I'm kind of excited about that. And then we're just going to run pretty much local stuff this year in my car and also in the Justin Blevins owned number 8 Sawyer Chassis Outlaw cars. So we'll do a little bit of traveling, but it's going to be mostly local shows this year.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people talking when I was out there at the Chili Bowl about that midget race at Port City, and there's a lot of talk about it. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's going to be awesome. You know, you got some of the best. I mean, obviously the best of the best are coming to hopefully be able to come to Oklahoma, and I think Ford will put on a really good show. Aaron definitely shortened the track up a little bit, made it a little bit wider for the guys to get around. And after the practice we seen at the end of last year, Tyler Thomas and then Chris Bell actually ended up jumping in Tyler's car a little bit, and a couple other local guys went out, Alex Sewell, and after seeing them run on that track, I think it's really going to be a really racy racetrack and be a lot of fun to watch them guys on that track.
Yeah, I think you guys are going to be able to get around there just fine. You got lots of laps around there, and that's what I want to back up to here is your micro days. Now, in 2012, you were the winner of the 10,000 win 66 race in Illinois. Obviously, a lot of people got to know your name. Our first week guest, Chris Bell, won the first. He went on to big things, and obviously that win has helped open some doors for you. And starting off last year with some midget races, and how did those work out for you?
Well, the midget races definitely helped out. I didn't really see much off of that 10,000 win show that Brad McDaniel put on, but that's fine. You know, that's probably the biggest win of my career for Justin Blevins and I as a team. So I was really excited to win that. And then Aaron Lemons actually got me that rental for Andrew Felker. And then James Moran, Tulsa Sod and Mulch actually come on board with us and rented that car for us. We were supposed to go race to Coin, but that kind of got snowed out last year. And we opened it up with Oklahoma City. We ran a midget down there. It was kind of a local show. The first night out, the fuel pump had actually backed off the motor before the heat race, so I missed my heat race. Had 3 laps of hot laps under my belt, and never been in a midget before in my life. And go out, start at the back of the B main, and got fortunate enough to come up through there and win that. And started 17th in A main, and we actually ended up pulling off the win, surprisingly. I mean, I was really shocked, but got up to Andrew and Tyler Thomas there, and they were trying to get around the lap car, and Tyler got wrapped up with another guy he was racing with, and Andrew had some throttle shaft issues, so I ended up being able to get around him and ended up pulling off the victory, so I was pretty excited about that.
Yeah, and I know there was a lot of talk about, you know, you getting your first win in a midget first night out and stuff like that, and I think kind of rolling into this year's Chili Bowl, you were kind of the unknown person, and I know a lot of people were asking me, who's this Chris Andrews on the the Chili Bowl pick, and I was like, that might be a pretty good pick there. And you had a pretty good Chili Bowl. So let's tell us how that one worked out for you.
Well, it worked out pretty well until inexperience got the best of me. Started out on Monday, and we had a couple good practice sessions. Dwayne and Andrew worked with me really well to really bring my learning curve down to a minimum. And then we went to Wednesday night was my qualifying night, and we went into Wednesday night and felt really, really good in hot laps. And go to the heat race. And obviously, I started dead last in the first heat race, and I was like, man, this isn't the place to be. The first time at the Chili Bowl, very first heat race out, it's going to be just hammered down, and hopefully I'll just be able to get a top 5, and go out there and get up to third, and the guy in second hits a cone on the restart, so it moves us to second, and so I'm high point man going into qualifying night, or the qualifiers. We're starting 6th in the first qualifier, and I go out there, and I got guys like Rico Brew and J.J. Yaley in front of me in the same row, and I can't believe I'm even on the same racetrack as these guys, let alone being able to race with them. And we take off, and Dwayne really gave me a good car that night, and we take off and set sail on the cushion, and Rico ended up spinning out, so I got by him, and we ended up running third in the qualifier, so I was really, really excited about that. And come to find out, I was sitting pole on the prelim night A feature, very first Chili Bowl, third time in the car, and I was really nervous. It was so Andrew and Danny, those guys have a great car, and with Dwayne wrenching me, they really gave me a great setup and jumped out front for I think 10 or 11 laps and got to the back of the lap car, and I just didn't know what to do. I grabbed the brakes a little hard and set her up over the cushion, and Caleb Armstrong drove by me. I ran him back down 2 laps, and coming off turn 4, I just got a heck of a run, and I was right on his back bumper, and I knew what I needed to do. I just didn't know how to go about it, and everything I could have done wrong, I did wrong. I wasn't on the brakes and just everything, and I was sliding across, and I seen Caleb, and I was like, man, it's either wreck us or try to slide up in behind him, and I tried to slide up in behind him and just clipped him with my right front in the Nerf bar, and it spun me out, which, that's probably one of the biggest mistakes in my career, but everybody's got to learn somehow, and that was definitely a learning experience for me.
Chris, this is Dirty Dan. You talk about the Chili Bowl and how quick everything was happening out there for you. That's a small track, man, and everything does fly at you pretty quick, doesn't it?
It really does. A couple weeks before that, I actually ran the shootout in my micro, and also in Justin's Sawyer Chassis micro in the Outlaw class. And it's a totally different world in the midget and in the micro. The micro, it just drives itself, and you can get around the corners really fast. Whereas the midget, it's real fast down the straightaways. Obviously, it's got a lot of horsepower, and then you get to the corner, and it feels like it's in slow motion. So down the straightaways, and the lap times are about the same, but everything happens so much quicker. They're heavier cars. Just everything about them just a little bit harder to drive, and it's a fast racetrack for a midget, that's for sure.
Now, I want to talk to you about Brian Walker at Walker Racing Promotions, and that's kind of how we got hooked up with you for the show tonight. Brian's a lot of his clients are going to be on the show. So tell me a little bit about your relationship with Walker Racing Promotions.
Brian is actually my second cousin. He's been around racing since he was a little bitty baby boy, because I've been racing since I was 4.5, and he's quite a bit younger than me. So he's grown up watching me race, and throughout the years he's been in the stands watching and just being around racing at Port City, all the local tracks. And then if we go out of town, he's definitely been there. And then last year I was actually going to get a website going, and Brian said, you know what, I want to try to do your Facebook page. I said, go for it. And so he started my Facebook page for me last year, at the beginning of last year, and it really just took off. He does a really awesome job. His stories are amazing. I mean, anybody that reads his stories can't believe that he can write those stories at his age. And definitely he's building his clientele up, and I'm really excited for him to see where, things lead for him and see where he can go in racing. Obviously, he's not in a car, so he wants to be involved in racing, and it's a love and passion of his. And so I really hope he does a good job. And so far, everything's gone great for him, and things have been rolling his way, and I hope his success continues.
I agree with that. We are so happy to have Brian and Walker Race Promotions as part of the show. And you mentioned website. They built our website. We're going to actually launch ours this week. But right now, Chris, who writes the checks and who helps you out with your racing, man?
Gulf Sod and Mulch, James Moran is a big sponsor on my car, and Wayne Pretty with Factory Cane Shocks, Brady with Metric Cycles, Sawyer Chassis, Falcon Racing Wings. Obviously, my mom and dad have been a huge help throughout my racing career. And then on Justin's car, we have Sawyer Chassis helping them, Bob Hurley Ford, Lightning Wings, Advanced Racing Suspensions, and Metric Cycles. Brady builds awesome motors, so if you all ever need any motors or anybody out there in the micro world, contact Brady with Metric Cycles. He does a heck of a job.
Well, Chris, I'm sure we'll have you back on again. Always a pleasure talking to you, and hopefully I'll get to see you some this summer.
Appreciate it, Rich. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate you guys.
That was Chris Andrews, and we'll be right back after this.
Waka Racing Promotions is a public relations team determined to grow and expand your name in the world of racing while guiding your image and car to the top. We use multiple different techniques from press releases, social media pages, and websites to boom your team or company ahead of the rest. Whether it be your normal race team wanting a sponsorship proposal or full-blown touring series needing PR help, Walker Racing Promotions can cover it all. Head to walkerracingpromotion.com to learn more on how you can expand your PR program with Walker Racing Promotions.
Here's an important message from RAD and this station.
Hi, this is Bob Sheehan from Blues Traveler for RAD, recording artists against drunk driving. I like to party just as much as the next guy, maybe even more, but the one thing I won't do after I've had a few is get in the car and drive. Don't blow it. Always choose a designated driver. Remember, music lives and so should you.
Motorsports sales professionals. Performance Motorsports is looking to build a team of experienced media sales professionals to represent our programming to the industry's top companies, magazines, and racing series. If you have motorsports sales or marketing experience, know how to work with agencies, understand social media, and are incredibly creative when it comes to working with clients and promotions, then we want to hear from you. Top performers are richly rewarded. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444, or email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue. And now, back to the guy who got thrown out of the pits for sneaking moonshine into the track in his fuel cell. It's Dirty Dan and the Photo Man.
Man, I always get a hard time over that. I just wish people would forget about it, man. Maybe I need to share my shine with them so they will forget Photo Man.
I keep waiting for you to send some of it up here around Kokomo.
Yeah, you got to come down here and get that. I'm not putting it in the boot. I'm not a bootlegger. But right now, we have to get back on track here. And we have Mr. Ryan Tusing on the phone with us. How you doing tonight, Ryan?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm doing all right, man. It's been a while since we've talked.
Yeah, you staying busy down there. Last time I talked to you, I think you calmed somebody and letting you get into a race car or something. That was probably a scary deal.
Yeah, it never ended up happening, but, hey, it is what it is. All right, let's back it up there, man. And tell me where you're from and what you race, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm from Bloomington, Indiana, born and raised, grew up going to Bloomington Speedway. I've driven just about anything with four wheels and a motor at this point. Currently, I'm running mini sprints with the Midwest Mini Sprint Association and having a lot of fun doing that.
Now, I've watched you. I've got a chance to watch you race from a full fan's perspective last year or the year before last at Bloomington Speedway in your mini sprint. And do you remember what I told you after that race?
Well, you had lots of good things to say. You said my car just looked entirely different than everyone else's going around there.
It did, man. We had a long conversation about that. But you made mention that you pretty much raced anything with a motor and wheels. But I say BS. I'm going to throw the BS flag on that because I know you do some big wheel racing too with our buddy Chase Briscoe.
That's true. We don't need a motor. We only need three wheels going down those hills there in southern Indiana.
Talk to me about it, man. Tell me about it.
Well, I don't know how it all originated. I don't know how it all started. Probably something like NASCAR, a bunch of guys claiming they can outrun each other. But we basically take bicycle frames, cut the back half of them, back half off of them, and put a rear axle with two hard plastic tires, and we go bonsaiing down these hills, nothing but gravity pushing us. And I mean, we hit speeds like 30 miles an hour. You can get behind another one and draft, and it's become quite the competition.
I'm gonna show up this summer now that I'm back in southern Indiana and definitely do some of that with you guys. It looks like a blast.
It is a good time for sure, and the big wheels just keep getting more and more extreme. I'm waiting to see someone going down the hill on a couch mounted on three wheels.
I sent a picture to our buddy Briscoe of a big wheel with I think it was a 600cc GXXR motor on it, man. And I said I was going to show up to the next big wheel race with that.
Yeah, you got to get that power to the ground.
There you go. All right, Ryan, let's talk about your racing, man. I know that you're struggling financially and things like that. Tell me about what your plans are for 2014.
Well, I have decided that just as fun as driving the cars is being behind the scenes and working on them for people, doing a little bit of crew chiefing and just through the week, tearing the car down, doing the setup on it and going through the motor, doing everything like that. Been helping a couple people with sprint cars for the last year or so. Planning on making a few runs myself. Got to get out to those local shows. I love Bloomington Speedway, so got to get there every time the MMSA comes around. And this year, I think I'm mostly going to be sticking to the crew chief and mechanic portion of it.
Now, you said you're going to run your own car in a few races. How would people get a hold of you to throw you some money your way if they wanted to?
Well, I'm available on Facebook. You can just look me up on there, Ryan Tusing, Bloomington, Indiana. And also my phone number or email address, racingryan16@hotmail.com. Any of those ways is good. I like to get people's names out there. I've worked with several people over the years. We got Builders Without Borders that's been on board for a long time, and they spread a lot of publicity for me, and I do the same for them. Ben's Reliable Repair has been on board for a long time. We got a lot of people that like to help us out when they can, but they're all small businesses and nonprofit organizations themselves, so it's hard to get a whole lot of funding out of them.
Now, you and I have talked a little bit about the USAC Unleashed radio show, and you're going to be working with us from time to time this summer and maybe getting us some video and things like that from some different places. But you and I are kind of cut from the same cloth. This is not what we primarily were brought up doing. So what's some of your thoughts about doing some of that this summer?
Yeah, kind of grew up through the years. It started out with my dad and his friends running what I guess now would be considered pure stocks. I mean, just put a roll cage in them, knock the windows out, and go to the racetrack. And from there, I kind of developed into doing a little bit of demolition derby and stuff. That got to be a pretty good amount of fun, a lot of work there. But yeah, I'm 23 years old, man. I'm getting old for that stuff. It gets sore when you get out of one of them derby cars nowadays.
Oh my! Here we go with the 23 and sore. You say that every time I see you at the track, man. You're always talking about how tired you are. I know you work your ass off, man. You're definitely a hard worker. All right, who you going to be helping out this year on, like you were saying, crew chiefing?
Well, I got hooked up with some longtime friends of ours, Charlie Belden Jr. He got a sprint car last year and moved up out of modifieds, and obviously I've been around sprint cars a lot longer than they have, so did a lot of help with them over the course of the summer. Love going to the racetrack with Chris Babcock and helping him and his dad out. They got a pretty good setup over there and always need an extra hand in the pits, but mostly I think I'll spend a lot of my time on Charlie Belden's car, get over their garage during the week and block the car, go through everything, check the valves, do all the normal maintenance stuff, and then go to the track on the weekends.
Now, that's how you mentioned Chris Babcock, and that's how you and I met, was at Bloomington Speedway, obviously, when I was running around with the Briscoes. But you guys was parked next to us quite often, and that's, we got to know each other pretty well. But you bought a house or something. You got some cool stuff going on in your personal life right now, don't you?
Yeah, I graduate school here in May with my bachelor's in mechanical engineering, and I got signed on with Jasper Engines and Transmissions last summer, and I'm going to be working for them here in May. I've bought a house I'm looking for a house down in southern Indiana, right down around the Jasper area, be close to Hobstadt over there, Tri-State Speedway, and things are good there. I'm working at an engine company now, so we'll maybe see if I can get some sponsor money thrown my way from there, and hopefully try and get Jasper Engines a little more involved into the motorsports world. They build a few transmissions and differentials for NASCAR teams, but they don't do a whole lot of engine building stuff anymore. So I'm kind of trying to push and get a little bit of them involved in that. We got a new dyno over there that's plenty capable of doing that type of engine work. So I'm seeing what I can work on there and try to get motorsports spread as big as I can.
Now, I want to give you a big shout out, Ryan. You're a young guy, and you have been busting your butt, not only working and creating income for yourself, but going to school and the racing and everything that you do. It's pretty cool, man. We're going to catch up with you again in this 2014 season. And like we said, you're going to be doing some freelance work for USAC Unleashed Radio. So we look forward to that. So we'll talk to you here real soon, Ryan.
All righty. Great, guys. I look forward to it.
All right, and there you have it, Ryan Tusing from Bloomington, Indiana, a jack of all trades and a master of a few, including big wheel racing. We'll be right back after these messages on USAC Unleashed Radio.
Got a high-performance racing engine? Then you know pushing these engines to the limit often sacrifices reliability. ProGlide Coatings will let your oil do its job to the best of its ability. By reducing friction on the rotating assembly in your engine, reliability can be restored. Applying ProGlide Coatings to internal parts, main and rod bearings, cranks, cams, pistons, rings, and even cylinders will improve reliability as well as add unimaginable performance. Reducing metal-to-metal contact with ProGlide Coatings can have profound results, making your engine not only perform better, but give you or your engine builder peace of mind. For more information about these or our industrial applications, go to www.proglidecoatings.com or to call at 570-204-2544.
Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed. Learn how at www.ready.gov. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Ad Council.
If you're a gearhead, you probably go online to those hot rod superstores, drooling over the chrome and speed goodies until you find just the right item for your muscle car, tuner car, truck. But what do you do when it comes to fixing the mom mobile? If you're like most do-it-yourselfers, you head to the strip mall parts store and talk to the "Do you want fries with that?" kid behind the counter. Hold on, Bunky. Did you stop to think where those chain stores are getting the parts that you're installing in the vehicle that's used to transport your family everywhere? They get the cheapest suppliers they can find to sell you the parts at bargain prices. Their limited lifetime warranties? What a joke. Remember the last time Mom's car broke down? You heard about that one for weeks. Don't take that chance again. Excelsior Racing has the quality parts you need for your family vehicle. Parts that you can install knowing you're getting the best for your family. Excelsior Racing. Quality parts, personalized service, affordable pricing, fast to you direct. Excelsior Racing. Online at excelsiorracing.com or call 502-909-2034.
Everybody get up. And now, back to the guy who brags how long his lens is to his girlfriends. Photo Man, we know there's no such thing as a 9-inch zoom. And then, well, there's Dirty Dan.
Yep, as the Photo Man would say. And we're back on USAC Unleashed Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network. And I am super excited about this next guest, Photo Man.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this guy.
Yeah, he's always a Mr. Excitement. Mr. Shane, the Throttle Cottle. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm good. How about you guys?
I'm doing all right, man. I didn't figure you'd ever take a phone call from me again after the Chili Bowl stuff.
No, heck, I don't have a problem with it.
That's cool, man. Now let's talk about Ocala. I think everybody out there knows who you are, where you're from, and what you race. We've covered that, and you're a popular guy. But 2 heat race wins to start the season off, man.
Yeah, well, when you qualify like crap, you can you get a start on the front row. So, and the track was kind of hard to pass. So it was we was fast in our heat races. We just needed to start a little further back.
Yeah, now, Shane, at the racetrack, we saw 2 different racetracks both nights. How much did those 2 different racetracks, really affect your qualifying effort?
The first night we had a bad number. We went out and the track kind of slowed down, but we were still pretty decent. But the second night, it was I made a mistake and put the wrong wheel on, and my car was just way too loose, and I was just basically just sitting on top of the track. But the track was real slick the first night and real tacky the next night.
Now, let's talk about those 2 different track conditions, Shane. The first night, it kind of blew off, and you guys had a couple of lanes going there. But, in down there in 4, it started to take rubber. But on Saturday night, it never really pushed up. There was a lot of moisture in the track. Do you like it like that, or what's your preferences?
I kind of like it slick myself. When it gets all tacky like it was on the second night, everybody's pretty fast, and it's really hard to pass. But, we ended up passing quite a few cars. I think we just kept it free enough where we could get it rotated and get underneath them.
Now, you said pass a lot of cars. It kind of wish USAC used passing points.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
That would have been, wouldn't it? All right, man. You're dealing with some personal things right now, and how's Danny doing? And is there anything that you can talk about publicly as far as that goes?
Danny Sutton, which is my father-in-law, and he's been sick since Christmas, and he's been in and out of the hospital, and he's been having a rough time, and just need some prayers for him to get him back to well.
I know he's been he wanted to listen to the show tonight, so he's chomping at the bit to hear what you have to say. That's a fact.
Yeah, he's a big supporter, and he loves racing. So anything has to do with racing, he'll be more than happy to watch or listen to, or just whatever it takes.
All right, man. Let's get back on Ocala here. What was some of the major differences that, we talked about track conditions. What were some of the major differences with setup that you had to do from Thursday night to Saturday night?
Like Thursday night, we really had to make a lot of adjustments, Thursday night compared to what we did Saturday night, because, Saturday night the track really didn't change. The longer the night went, it just seemed like the moisture in the air kept the moisture in the track. So it was, the track just kept getting tighter and tighter, all through the night. So, we didn't do a whole lot. Thursday, we threw the kitchen sink at it Thursday.
Now, Shane, you got off to a decent start. I mean, it's probably not the start you were hoping for, leaving there 7th in points so far, leaving Ocala. Is it your plan to run, the 2E of Epperson's all year long?
Yeah, we're going to run, we're going to hit all the big shows, close, and all the USAC races that are, within around the area. And he's not planning on going to California or, up north to Michigan or Wisconsin or whatever it is, But we'll run most of the big races around and then maybe hit and miss a local show here and there.
Yeah, now, that leads me to the local racing. You do a lot of local racing around here. Is your plan to run with them on the local shows, or you got another car you're going to step into?
We're going to step into Bill Ellison's car I know for sure for Kokomo, but Gas City I'm not for sure about yet. We're still in the planning stages on that, so I think we're going to get plenty of racing in this summer.
Yeah. I thought I'd heard that you were going to step into that. I kind of have the personal relationship with the crew chief on that one, so hopefully you guys will be able to really get it going pretty good at Kokomo and pick off some wins.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I know Jimmy definitely looks forward to having guys that stand on the gas, and you're definitely that. Now, looking back, you've got some midget wins in the USAC series and some Silver Crown wins. Is there any plans on doing any midget racing or Silver Crown racing this year?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do some midget racing this year. I got a guy from Wisconsin I'm gonna run for, and Bill Eckert, and then hopefully we can get Bernie Stugin Indy Race Parts, get him out and run it once in a while, and we'll be kind of busy this year.
We talked a little bit about that in the course of some of the other interviews that we've done, Shane, about how busy you're going to be this year. How many races are on the schedule at this point for 2014?
I don't have a clue. It's just, like I say, we're going to try to hit all of Kokomo's, which I think there's 15 or so there. And, there's probably 20, 25 races for USAC and probably another 15 or 20 of the bigger races around. So we'll keep busy, I'm sure.
I can't wait to see you, man. Are you going to be down at Lawrenceburg the 1st of April? Right on, man. I got a present for you when you show up down there. I've been hanging on to it since the Chili Bowl, so I'm going to give it to you, but I'm going to have to run like hell, man, so I hope I can run faster than you.
Well, I'm in better shape now than I was at the Chili Bowl, so there we go.
Well, I'm in worse shape, man, so I don't know, man. Maybe I should just hide it and then call you after the races and tell you where it's at, but you're going to enjoy it. Let's just say it's it has a little something to do with Old Smoky, but it's not Old Smoky. How's that sound?
All righty.
All right, man. All right, tell me about what'd you learn down in Ocala? What'd you take away from those 2 nights of racing?
We actually learned something on the shocks. When it's real slick, I actually learned something that I hadn't had a chance to try out yet, and I know you can go way too far on them, so we learned that, and we adjusted on them. I think I could have had Dave for third there, but I over-tweaked on a little bit and went too far, so we're going to have to work on that a little bit.
That's something that kind of dominates our conversation, Shane, when I talk to you as shocks, and I know you're big on working on your shock setups and packages and things. And for some of the rookie stripers we got out there listening to the show, can you kind of tell us and let them know the adjustments that you can make inside the car when it comes to the shocks?
You can make all kinds of adjustments. I mean, each corner does something different, and like my problem I had at Ocala on Thursday night is I went too far on my right rear shock, which stuck it too hard, and I got it too tight basically, and there's just so many adjustments and ways you can set them to make it do what you want. It's all about the timing of it, I guess. It's basically what it is.
Now, at a place like Ocala, we often, in the USAC racing TV broadcast, they was referring to it as a D-shaped track for those that's not ever been there before. There's very little back straightaway. Do you find you got time to work on that under race conditions, or are you just messing with it under cautions?
There's a few that you can work with, under race conditions. Like the front shocks are not quite as, as critical to get right as the rear ones. So you want to kind of mess with the rear ones during the yellow or something.
Now, I know that some guys have tried this in the past, and I want to ask you this, being the shot guy that you are, where people have messed around with some onboard air compressor type setups and things like that for tire pressures and things like that. Have you ever thought about doing any of that, or do you think any of that's feasible and would work, where you can raise and lower the tire pressures as the race is going on?
It probably would work. I mean, if you went out there and you was too tight, you could put more air pressure in it and free it up, and vice versa. If it was too loose, you could let it down. But that'd be kind of interesting to try, I think, maybe.
I agree. I mean, we all know about the bleeder valves and things like that, but being able to add air pressure, that's kind of a cool thing, man. But, what led me into that is all the adjustments, knobs that you guys got for shocks, and then adding something like an air pressure switch. At what point do we say, all right, as a driver, do you say, okay, that's enough, man. That's enough switches. I've got my hands full with this 900 horsepower, 1,200 pound beast the way it is, man. No more. Enough's enough.
Yeah, that's getting a little crazy, but it almost sounds like some Formula One stuff we're trying on dirt. But
there you go, man. We're gonna move to the new age. That's a fact. All right, man. I look forward to seeing you in Lawrenceburg, Shane. And once again, big shout out to Danny Sutton. I hope you get to feeling better and things like that. Shane, shout outs you want to give before we get out of here, brother?
We got to thank Tony Epperson and Millie Epperson and all the crew, and Butler Built Seat, Simpson, Hoosier Tires. We got to have them so we can go play. So, we appreciate all they do for us, and hope to make them happy this year.
I think that's not going to be a problem making them happy. So like I said, Shane, we'll catch up with you in Lawrenceburg. Good luck on the 2014 season. And this is only the first time, not the last time you're going to be on the show.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
All right, that'll work. There you have it. Shane the Throttle Cottle on the USAC Unleashed radio show on the Performance Motorsports Network. And we'll be back with night one winner from Ocala, Brady Bacon of Hoffman Racing, right after this short break.
Walker Racing Promotions is a public relations team determined to grow and expand your name in the world of racing while guiding your image and car to the top. We use multiple different techniques, from press releases, social media pages, and websites to boom your team or company ahead of the rest. Whether it be your normal race team wanting a sponsorship proposal or full-blown touring series needing PR help, Walker Racing Promotions can cover it all. Head to WalkerRacingPromotion.com to learn more on how you can expand your PR program with Walker Racing Promotions.
On the air, you may know me as the man about motorsports. Actually, I've been the man about insurance for over 30 years. With one call, I can cover your life, health, auto, home, and business insurance. Recently, I saved a young couple over $500 on their annual car insurance bill. No gimmicks and no green lizard. So if you think your insurer is really your good neighbor who is on your side because he is holding your money in his good hands, think again. Call me, 703-631-8000. I have dozens of insurance companies waiting to give you the protection you need and deserve. It may take more than 15 minutes, but you'll receive sound advice, quality professional service, and an honest opinion. That number again, 703-631-8000. Ask for Larry O.
Hi, I'm Mickey for Bed Bug Detection Services. Bed Bug Detection Services rescues dogs from the Humane Society and the SPCA, then trains them at the Florida Canine Academy. We then pair them up with a handler where they will spend the rest of their lives in a happy family home working in the community. We want to rescue our second dog, but we cannot do it without your help. We are fundraising to bring home our next canine. Please go to bbds.us, that's bbds.us, and do your part in helping us rescue another dog. bbds.us will give life, home, and a meaning to another dog. bbds.us. With every donation, you will receive a signed postcard from our current bed bug detection dog rescue, Lily. Go to bbds.us. And thank you.
And now, back to the guy that thinks McDreamy is Dave Darlin. It's the Photo Man and Dirty Dan.
Well, and then there's Dirty Dan. I love that part of it, man. That just cuts me completely out of that. Cuts me completely out of it. All right, Photo Man, we have done what we set out to do. We have one of the winners from Ocala with us this week. You ready for this?
Yeah, we sure do.
All right, man. Here he is from Hoffman Racing, Mr. Brady Bacon. How you doing tonight, Brady?
Good. How about you guys?
Doing all right, man. Did you have a safe trip back and made it back from Ocala all right?
Yeah, it was a pretty long trip. We rode back in the big red truck, the Hoffman truck and trailer, so that takes a little while. It's a pretty long drive down there, but made it back, unfortunately, to this cold weather still. But can't wait for it to warm up to get the season started up here.
No doubt, man. We've seen some of those sneak peek pictures that they were posting on the Hoffman Racing page. You crashed out in the big red truck, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really good at sleeping and moving vehicles.
There you go. All right, man. Let's talk about Brady Bacon. Where are you from and what are you racing, brother?
I'm from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I currently live in Winchester, Indiana. Been racing sprint cars since I was 16, since 2006. We're going to run the full USAC sprint car schedule this year, along with pretty much everything else mixed in: wing 360s, wing 410s, non-wing 360s, midgets. Pretty much anything I can fit into my schedule, I'll try to go race it.
Yeah, now, Brady, we started off in Ocala with a practice night on Wednesday, and I know I even got you on this a little bit, but you guys ran a lot of laps on Wednesday night, and I really think maybe those laps probably helped get you ready for Thursday.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we've obviously have a new tire rule this year that we'll eventually have to switch to the median right rear. We have the option of running 3 different right rears down there, so we wanted to make sure we chose the best one, especially for that track. Later in the year, we won't have a choice, but just trying to compare the difference in the tires and try some new shocks and just try some things we don't really get to a practice day very often. So we were already down there, and we just tried to make the most of it.
Yeah, and it definitely worked off for you being able to pick up your 5th USAC National Sprint Car win on Thursday night. And let's talk about, how awesome is it to be able to drive the Hoffman car? It's got a lot of history, and now you're getting to add your name to that list of, drivers they've had that win races for them.
It's great. We've it's our 3rd win together. I've won a race every year I've driven for him, I think. Maybe not the first one. I think I only ran once or twice the first year I drove for him, but we've had a lot of success together in a short amount of time. Last year wasn't, quite as successful as we wanted it to be or as we were expecting it to be. We ran good all the time, but just didn't quite get the wins that we wanted, and that's what we want is to get wins. They're a great team. They've been around. I guess this is their 85th year of racing, so the winningest USAC team. It's just an honor. You can see by how hard they work why they've won so many races, and they really worked hard during the winter and really made the changes that need to be made. And obviously, they were the right ones because we came out with a win in the first race, which is always nice. Instead of get that first one out of the way and just keep rolling from there.
Now, Brady, Rich mentioned all the practice laps you guys turned on Wednesday, and then you come out Thursday night, obviously, and you parked it that night. We get a rain night, and then we go into Saturday night. Did the different track conditions kind of throw you off come Saturday night, or what was going on, my man?
Yeah, the track was just odd. They had to have it packed so hard for the rain, and then when they watered it, the track was so hard that it was greasy for a while, and it acted like it was starting to come in that second group of hot laps. We actually ran a faster lap in hot laps than we qualified with. It was just a weird circumstance. The track would sit there, and it would actually get wetter again because the water would come back up out from underneath the racetrack. So kind of caught me off guard and just wasn't really in the line that I needed to run in qualifying. And then in the future, you start where you qualify, and unfortunately, because of the rain, it just wasn't very much passing. It was just kind of one lane, especially after the first few laps. So just kind of had to take what you can get and, move on to the next one.
Yeah, the track, you're right. The grooves never kind of moved up. I want to drop back to Thursday night, Brady, and you found something coming off 4. The track started to take a little bit of rubber there off 4, and I know when we was watching it on the pay-per-view, I was having a conversation in a live thread on Facebook with a couple people, and somebody had said, oh, Brady found something off 4, and you found a little bit of rubber buildup there. Do you know you found that, when you was in the car? Did you feel it? Did you know what you found? At that point, it was about halfway through when you really started making your move.
Yeah, it was actually a patch of moisture there. It had kind of been there all night, and it just got harder and harder and harder to hit it because it was getting smaller and smaller as it dried out. So we were just able to maneuver around and really be able to hit that moisture, coming off before. We actually pulled the front wheels off the ground a couple times. I know I did as I was passing Tracy. So we just had a really good car, and we were able to move around and really hit that spot a little bit better than everybody else. Probably the last, 5 or 6 laps, it started cleaning off on the very, very bottom, and it made it a little easier. I don't know that it ever actually was starting to take rubber, but it did clean off and really get a little bit faster down there. The track was dry all night, and it never did take rubber. So, kind of kudos to the track crew for that. It obviously, I thought the track was great on Thursday, and some might have a different opinion about it. But I thought it was pretty racy. We were able to move around and have a couple grooves. So you just on a track like that, it's a really precise deal. So that's kind of what I like, to really have to hit your marks and really be able to make up some ground if someone else messes up.
Oh, I agree with you 100%, Brady. The track conditions at Bubba's last week for the USAC guys, for you guys, was probably the best they've been all winter with the weather that they've had down there and things. But you talked about that, hitting your marks and that track being a little bit of a different deal than what you guys normally run on. Tell me a little bit about the track layout and the configuration and how it is different than the other places that you race.
Yeah, it's basically you have a half mile on one end and a little bitty quarter mile on the other. It's kind of what it races like. You're really, really fast through 1 and 2, and then basically from the middle of 1 and 2 all the way till you're starting to enter turn 3 is kind of like a big arc. So you're pretty much hammered down regardless of how the track is, and then you really crank it sideways and basically just go straight off of turn 4. So definitely a unique layout. Kind of combines different aspects, unique aspects from different tracks. So it's kind of cool to get a little taste of something different, and you really have to have a good car to be good on both ends there.
Yeah, now, and Brady, you do run a lot of racetracks, all over the country, because you do lots of different types of racing. You run the sprint cars, you run the midgets, and you run the wing stuff. What's your schedule looking like as far as the midget and the wing stuff goes outside of the USAC sprint car stuff?
Still kind of trying to put it together. A lot of it depends on the midget deals. It kind of just depends on how it goes. I'm going to run a few races for Scott Ronk, who I ran for at the Chili Bowl. I don't know how many races he'll be able to let me run, because he's got to run full-time with his son Parker. So we're just going to have to see how that goes. Trying to work on some other things to get some more midget races in. And then the wing deal is just going to have to see how much funding we can get. Obviously, I'd like to race as much as possible. We'll be racing a lot in Ohio area, Fremont and Attica, Atomic, places like that. We're going to try to do a lot of Ohio Speed Week, Pennsylvania Speed Week. So we've got, we'll be close to 100 races again this year with everything we're doing.
Yeah, and we know you like to run a lot, and, you run the different types of cars. Is there one type of car that you like better, or do any of the other types of cars kind of help, prepare you in all the other different types of stuff you do?
I think kind of they all help each other. I think the biggest gain I've made is after running the wing sprint cars, I became a lot better in a non-wing sprint car, being able to, keep the car straighter and stuff, especially on bigger tracks. Ever since I've started running wing cars, I've been really good in non-wing cars on bigger tracks, which is kind of what I used to struggle in the first few years I ran non-wing. So that's definitely helped. If it all paid the same, midgets are probably my favorite ones to drive, but unfortunately, they don't all pay the same, and wing 410s are kind of the place to go to make the most money.
Now, Brady, you and Rich touched on this earlier in the interview about who you're driving for in the USAC sprint cars this year, Hoffman Racing, and the huge history that's behind that. Is there any added pressure for driving for a race team with that kind of history and name recognition?
Maybe some people might find it that way, but I've always put more pressure on myself than pretty much anyone else can put on me. So, I want to win really bad, and they want to win really bad. So far, we've worked great together. Rob's really been great about, taking my input, and we kind of put our heads together, and if we have an issue, we figure it out together, and, two heads are better than one as long as they're going in the same direction. So, it's been great. They don't put any, extra pressure. Obviously, they really want to win, and they work hard, and I just feel like it's my job to do my best and work hard. I race as much as I can. I think that keeps me sharp. So, so far it's worked out good, and I'll just keep trying my best because I know they will too.
Now, Brady, you said all the different racing that you're doing this year are upwards of 100 races and all the different cars and things like that. Who are some of the people that are writing the checks to make this happen for you?
Well, obviously, Mean Green is the main sponsor on Hoffman's car, and then the Hoffmans, they work really hard and they do whatever it takes to get it done. Triple X, I run a Triple X chassis in both the winged and the non-winged series, so that's kind of unique. They're almost identical cars, actually. In my own personal stuff, I have people that have been with me for a long time. Fatheads Eyewear has helped us in the past and plan on helping us some this year. Kaiser Wheels, Smiley's Racing Products, PPM Titanium Products. The list goes on and on. We're still looking for some extra sponsors for my wing deal for like a race-by-race basis to help us travel a little more. So still working on some of that stuff. But, without all the product sponsors, like DMI, we run DMI on both the cars. Without all those people helping, it makes it a lot tougher to get up and down the road and race.
That is for sure. That's a lot of sponsors there. How do people get a hold of you, Brady, or any of the different teams that you're racing for if they want to help out on the sponsorship side of it?
My website has a marketing inquiry section. You can email us from there. I think Tim Wechter posts a lot of stuff on Hoffman's website that you can get in contact with him. My website's BradyBaconRacing.com, and I believe theirs is HoffmanRacing.com. So we also have all kinds of merchandise on our website. My wife does a great job of kind of keeping that new and fresh and different. So we got a lot of stuff for people to check out. So if you go to our website, it's all there.
For sure. Brady, we really liked having you on. Good luck the rest of the season, and we'll see you here in just a few weeks in Lawrenceburg.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right. That was Brady Bacon, everybody.
Got a high-performance racing engine? Then pushing these engines to the limit often sacrifices reliability. ProGlide Coatings will let your oil do its job to the best of its ability. By reducing friction on the rotating assembly in your engine, reliability can be restored. Applying ProGlide Coatings to internal parts, main and rod bearings, cranks, cams, pistons, rings, and even cylinders will improve reliability as well as add unimaginable performance. Reducing metal-to-metal contact with ProGlide Coatings can have profound results, making your engine not only perform better, but give you or your engine builder peace of mind. For more information about these or our industrial applications, go to www.proglidecoatings.com or to call at 570-204-2544. You've been gigging in area clubs for years, and your fans keep telling you you're ready for the next step. Problem is, you have no idea where to turn. Plus, you're still hurting from the stress of being jacked around by that wannabe promoter who soaked you for thousands of bucks and almost broke up the band. Killstack Music Group is the answer. They believe partnering with the right management team will help you achieve your goals of success. They are true professionals who believe in creating a relationship with their clients based on trust, effective communication, and attention to detail. Now, if you and your bandmates have the passion to take it to the next level and you're ready for truly professional representation, contact Killstack Music Group via email at welcome@killstackmusic.com, or you can go online at killstackmusic.com.
Welcome to Blacktop Boot Camp's Beltway Survival Minute, where we teach you how to survive the mean streets of the D.C. metro area. We've already had our first taste of winter, and the body shops are overflowing with cars whose drivers ran out of talent and crashed. 99% of the drivers out there overestimate their driving ability, but we're going to try to help you become a better driver. While today's cars have outstanding features like anti-lock brakes and active handling systems, there's only so much that these systems can do to compensate for driver error. In fact, in snow, sand, gravel, and mud, ABS actually increases your stopping distance by 3 times or more. So an average car that normally stops from 60 miles an hour and 140 feet will take 420 feet to stop in the snow with ABS. So when the snow starts piling up on the road, you need to increase your following distance to accommodate for this reduction in braking ability. Cheaper than your insurance deductible, the fun, hands-on driving arts classes at Blacktop Boot Camp teach skid control in our skid car, accident avoidance maneuvers, and more. For information on our corporate and teen driving courses, please visit www.blacktopbootcamp.com. That's www.blacktopbootcamp.
On the air, you may know me as the man about motorsports. Actually, I've been the man about insurance for over 30 years. With one call, I can cover your life, health, auto, home, and business insurance. Recently, I saved a young couple over $500 on their annual car insurance bill. no gimmicks, and no green lizard. So if you think your insurer is really your good neighbor who is on your side because he is holding your money in his good hands, think again. Call me, 703-631-8000. I have dozens of insurance companies waiting to give you the protection you need and deserve. It may take more than 15 minutes, but you'll receive sound advice, quality professional service, and an honest opinion. That number again, 703-631-8000. Ask for Larry Ellis.
And now, back to the guy that thinks he's a one-man snake pit, Dirty Dan and the Photo Man.
Man, I don't think nothing. I know I'm a one-man snake pit when Sin lets me out of the house, which is not very often, Photo Man.
Yeah, that's a fact. Got to keep you under lock and key.
All right, man, we got a lot of stuff to get through in the close here. I can't believe another hour is down the drain. But, you know, hey, we got another show in the can here in a few. But real quick, we got to get to that www.dirtgear.com prize vault giveaway combination, Photo Man. Do you have it at the ready?
Yeah, I dug it out, and here's this week's code. It is 7697.
7697. 7697. Look for the link on the USAC Unleashed Radio Show page. Write it down right there, and we will give away another $25 DirtDogGear.com gift certificate. RichForemanPhotos.com. Photo Man, I believe you're going to give something away.
Yeah, I'm anybody that knows, I've started doing the race ad deals, and I'm doing them this year, and my deal is I'm going to take a race ad to every race, have it signed by the winners, and hopefully give it away on the show, and that's what we're going to do this week. We're going to give away the race ad from Ocala, signed by Brady Bacon and signed by Brian Clausen, and we'll look for a question on the Facebook page to do out of the show from somewhere.
All right, man. So look for that, Photo Man, and get that link posted up on the USAC Unleashed Radio Show Facebook page. I want that, man. Did you get me one?
Oh, I knew I forgot something.
I knew it, man. Always forgetting, Dirty Dan. I see how it is now. All right, the big news that we want to launch this week, Photo Man. I'm going to let you do it. Take it over, brother.
Yeah, this week we're going to be launching our USAC Unleashed Radio Show website, brought to us by Brian Walker Race Promotions. He's done a great job with it. It looks pretty slick. You'll be able to log on there, check our Facebook feed, go to the links and visit the shows, go and visit the links and visit our sponsors, tell them, go check them out, tell them, we sent you, let them know that, their money is doing good.
I agree, man. It's a very cool website. You and Brian have put together a very cool website for us, and anybody that wants something like this, you grassroots racers that want a professional way for PR for your career that's very affordable, give Walker Race Promotions, check them out, man. Brian does awesome work. You heard from Chris Andrews earlier in the show, and he's a client there. We're a client there. So once again, check them out. Pretty cool deal. The website address is going to be www.USACUnleashedRadioshow.com. www.USACRadioshow or USACUnleashedRadioshow.com. There's another edit for you, Bob. At any rate, Bob, you got some stuff going on over at the Performance Motorsports Network website. Tell us about it.
Man, there's lots of stuff happening. We have a brand new section. If you are a racer or a race team and you want to feature your driver or you want to be featured on the Performance Motorsports Network page, both the website and the Facebook page, we have got something for you. For a very small fee, you can have your picture up for a minimum of 3 months on the website and have links to your Facebook page, your Twitter account, your email address, whatever you want to put at the bottom with a picture of you. It's sort of like a virtual hero card right there on the Performance Motorsports Network website. And we're also doing a Driver of the Week on our homepage there at Performance Motorsports Network. So maybe it could be you, or you, or you. Who knows? But that's all happening. If you want to get involved in that, you want to call Sue Mason. That's SUEMASON, our Vice President of Marketing Advertising, and that number is 717-749-0444. 717-749-0444. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Bob. I can't wait. Man, that's going to be a cool deal. We're going to start pushing that a little harder here on the radio show and some other places. But look for the links. You can find the Performance Motorsports links on the USAC Unleashed Radio Show page, too. So, don't fret if you didn't get that written down. One last thing I want to throw out there before we get out of here for this week, and this is pretty damn cool, Photo Man. I want to give a big shout out and a big promotion to Sean Buckley, jackslash.com. Not only are they going to have the Indiana Sprint Car Series on MAV TV starting March 29th, it's already aired now, but the new season gets underway March 29th. but they have a brand new project called the Dirty 30. And once again, that's on MAV TV, and it debuts in April. What do you think, Photo Man?
Yeah, that's going to be an awesome deal. Sean does such a great job, and I can't wait to check it out.
It is going to be an awesome deal. The broadcasts are very professional. Get over on MAV TV, check it out, or go to jackslash.com, check it out, YouTube, all of that. Bob, we are done. We got another one in the can, buddy. Another USAC Unleashed radio show. Done. Wrap. We will catch you all next week. Thanks for all the support.
USAC Unleashed is a copyrighted production of PerformanceMotorsportsNetwork.com, a member of the Scorpion Radio Group, Inc., and may not be rebroadcast, replicated, or saved in any media without the explicit written permission of PMN. Check out our Facebook page, USAC Unleashed Radio Show, or our section on the PMN website. The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of the management and ownership of either PMN or Scorpion Radio Group, Inc. Be listening next week as we rev it up with USAC Unleashed, exclusively on the Performance Motorsports Network.